Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be diving into some shocking road accident scenarios where every moment matters. Always remember, staying cautious is essential for saving lives. Let's jump right in. Just look at the races held in one of the richest countries in the world. Evaluate the maneuvers and abilities of the driver. Just look at what can happen to an inexperienced driver in wet asphalt when they are together on the road. What scary scenes and great risks for the life of the driver and the drivers around him. This car is so big that the driver simply didn't notice it and hit a car parked nearby. Or was it all planned? What do you think? It is not always your fault in an accident on the road. As you can see, a person who did nothing wrong also became a participant in a road accident. People suffer because of the carelessness of others. So always make sure that you secure the trailer correctly. This is shocking. Look what happens when a husband teaches his wife to drive a car without additional pedals. It's just shocking how it happens. The driver was born with a shirt on, but after such adventures, I'm sure he won't be behind the wheel for a long time. Watch how the police detain lawbreakers. This car driver has probably never been so grateful to Volvo for their reliable truck brakes. Always here. Always let the ambulance pass. They're in a hurry to save lives. Look at the actions of this driver. He didn't try to help the victims because of his carelessness. He decided to flee the scene of the crime. But there is such a concept as instant karma. How I love such moments. And you love when instant karma works. Because, as you can hear, the authors of the video really liked it. This is what happens when snow falls suddenly and all drivers are still wearing their summer clothes. Be careful and change your car tires in advance. This is what happens when a driver does not keep the permissible distance when driving. And I once witnessed the so-called checkers. A person recklessly decided to overtake, and it all led to a massive traffic accident. Be careful on the roads. This is how even experienced drivers can fail to control a car when it is overloaded. Never overload your car. Always pay attention to road signs, especially the mandatory stop sign. And I once witnessed the so-called checkers. A person recklessly decided to overtake, and it all led to a massive traffic accident. Be careful on the roads. These are the tools used to stop drivers who are harassing you. A very dangerous accident with a fuel truck. Just look at the consequences of such a terrible collision. It's terrifying. Never get distracted while driving, it can end very badly. Colt thought he would get through, but the driver who ran the green light didn't think so. He really never realized that he was wrong. Never overtake unless you are sure that an oncoming car is coming your way. It also happens that a car goes off the road even in dry weather. Has this happened to you? When a driver thinks that he should be allowed to pass even at a red light, he will one day get into a terrible traffic accident. They are worse than a monkey with a grenade. Do you agree with me? Answer in the comments. A wet road is a very dangerous thing, especially for inattentive drivers. He must have confused the gas pedal with the brakes in the turn. I've always been afraid to drive behind logging trucks because of certain movies. And do you know which movie I'm talking about? His engine must have overheated and he decided to cool it down, because I don't see any other options here, do you? This is what happens when trucks drive on roads for cars. The road simply can't handle the weight. It's a good thing there was no one there. There are situations like this on the roads. Well, what was this taxi driver thinking? Thank God the woman wasn't hurt, but she was probably really scared. Always be twice as careful on the highway because the speed is increased there and accidents become many times more dangerous. As we can see in the video, the green light was still flashing, so always wait for the other drivers to finish their maneuvers. He really tried to escape the collision, but the oncoming driver was trying to get out of the skid and twisting the steering wheel hit him, as he should have done in your opinion. Another example of bad winter tires. Never overtake on a solid lane marking. This is a dangerous section of the road for overtaking. There are also such combos as wet asphalt and some inadequate driver flying head-on into your lane. Always be careful and ready to maneuver. Even drifting professionals don't always get it right, so think twice before trying drifting. Even drifting professionals don't always get it right, so think twice before trying drifting. As a rule, if you turn the steering wheel too quickly to the left, you'll end up drifting to the right. Where do they always rush to? Have you ever had situations where drivers rushing to a stop led to something like this? This is what happens when drivers don't turn on their turn signals in their cars. Do you always turn them on? He firmly believed that he would run a red light. No one expected this. The driver felt sick behind the wheel. Here are 2 videos of what happens in rainy weather. I recommend that you refrain from long-distance trips in such weather conditions because it increases the risks on the road. Almost at the end of our video, I left you 3 videos in a row from the first person with ice drifts on the road. In rainy weather and sunny summer, just look what can happen to each of us. It's really terrible and scary. As a rule, if you turn the steering wheel too quickly to the left, you'll end up drifting to the right. Law enforcement officers in the United States follow strict protocols during pursuits to ensure public safety and effective resolution. When a driver fails to comply with a stop command, officers activate sirens and lights, notify dispatch, and coordinate with additional units, including aerial support like helicopters. Tactics such as PIT maneuvers, spike strips, or vehicle blockades may be employed, with constant evaluation of risks to the public. If a pursuit becomes too dangerous, it can be called off in favor of follow-up investigations using surveillance footage. All actions are carefully documented, and the suspect faces appropriate charges.